I'm back, fighting my old nemesis on the Boneyard, of course. That's the map for this round. It's going to be me versus Descara, some good GVC action again. Hello again, A-Game. It's twice in a row now. He's stream sniping, man. Yeah, of course, it's me versus Descara here on the Boneyard. I'm going to be spawning on the north side, kind of. Actually, you can tell like what side it is based on these numbers here. It looks like that's actually the south. I don't care. I'm going to call it the north. This just feels like it's the top of this map to me. Probably because in the campaign you play from this perspective. And so I think, oh yeah, this is like the top, you know, but I don't know. This is a campaign map, in case you didn't know, by the way. Although I seem to think it stretches out further in the campaign, but I'm not sure. Based on the texturing, probably not, actually. You will notice in the campaign there's a lander here, whereas in this map there's not. So that's pretty cool, I think. Anyway, it's actually a really cool map when you look around and observe it. All these things look like they're cruisers of some kind, but they're like decommissioned, or there's base runners over here. It's pretty cool. Anyhow, I'm moving out across the map like I always do with my early game sand skimmers. Descara going for an LAV first build, which is a bit of a surprise actually. He doesn't usually do this, so that's probably going to catch me a little bit off guard here. A little bit of awkward shuffling in the beginning here, but this side of the map definitely favors LAVs for the defense. I mean, like, look how open it is. Definitely nothing I'm going to be able to do to really poke in here. I might be able to push him off of a second for just a little bit though, which would be basically all I'm looking for. But as you can see, my production cruiser is already falling back because I've seen these LAVs. This guy should move back now. Yeah, he is. But it doesn't look like I'm even going to be able to deny him from his second there. So what's the tech choice going to be for me? Nothing just yet. Nothing from Descara either. But it does look like I'm saving up for something. These sand skimmers kind of thought they had a nice little opening there, but didn't look like it. Looks like it is going to be assault ship tech for me. Not sure if I actually have enough pressure for that. Maybe railguns would be a better choice in this scenario. I like to go for assault ships when I feel I have some good pressure against my opponent, which I definitely do not in this case. So it's going to be a little tricky to get some value out of those units, but we'll have to see. But really, I'm just being held behind this dune. I'm not being able to push past this dune at all. So one artifact can get taken though. This is the one closest to my extraction zone, so clearly you can tell I'm not expecting to have the field control for much longer. Sand skimmer armor coming up now, which will be nice. Still no upgrades for Descara, but he is going for railguns. Quite a prudent choice there. It's almost like he knew assault ships were going to be coming out. So excellently done from him there. This probe's going to move out here and try to find out, am I on two bases? Do I have another production cruiser? Is there something funny going on, or is it just kind of how it looks? In this case, it's definitely going to be how it looks. The reason this is good is because sometimes, like the Gaussian player, you'll notice Descara has not seen my production cruiser for some time. I could have actually run back and gotten refinery mode, and then made Descara think he needs to kind of invest in the defense over here, when in reality there's nothing going on. Because you can see I've already gotten him to go for Power Reserve 1 and stuff, but seeing there's no production cruiser here, he knows that is the proper response. Otherwise he wouldn't necessarily know that. So one assault ship getting finished here pretty soon. And that should be able to do some damage to the second. But we'll have to see. The production cruiser is moving back here, which is a little bit of a nice touch, I think, because oh, there's action going on here. I'll talk about this later. Doing some damage to these LAVs right here. There is a turret set up, but that turret is going to go down now. But definitely I don't have enough sand skimmers to deal with this many LAVs plus a support cruiser, so having taken out the turret, that's really all I can expect to get done here. And a lot of sand skimmers went down, but oh, look at that railgun got a nice shot on one of these sand skimmers here. But yeah, it doesn't really look like that was such a worthwhile fight for me, and also the assault ship, having seen a railgun here, is going to be forced to retreat as well. So probably a bit of an overcommit, although he did end up with only 3 LAVs, and I have 2 sand skimmers here, and I've taken out some of the static defense on the main, so it's not so bad. But yeah, knowing that there are railguns out on the field already, I'm not going to be able to do anything with assault ships, so I'm taking into interceptors now. And the assault ships can just be used for the defense and to try to help the space runner get to the extraction zone. Refinery mode is about to finish for me, but Descara's economy is a little bit ahead. What I was saying about the production cruiser refinery mode coming out right then was that the probe had just scouted that it wasn't there, so then it suddenly being there is kind of a nice touch, right? And actually the base runner heal here doing a very good job allowing this sandskimmer to pick off an LAV without taking any losses, so I don't like to laud myself with praise, but I still think that was pretty good. There's a railgun in the hood though. It's going to start causing me some grief if it targets these assault ships here, but the artifact is definitely going to score. And the probe is going to see, although it costs him about 80 health to do so, that there is a second base up now. Refinery mode is finished. And I've got some interceptors coming out on the field. Scores now 2-0 for me. Maybe I could try a carrier Russia. What do you think? Probably not. But yeah, 2 interceptors going to be finished pretty soon. And there's another assault ship on the field, one more getting produced. But I'm definitely going to want to tech into something else now. The interceptors are going to do a good job taking out some railguns if Descara kind of falls asleep there, but having LAVs that can do anti-air kind of screening for them, I really won't be able to get too much value out of those interceptors in kind of like a prolonged fight. More just like they'll be able to pick off the occasional odd unit there, which is nice. It gets me good defense, good kind of field control, but it's not going to be enough on its own. I'm going to need to tech to something else. Especially now as Descara is getting onto 3 bases, which is quite scary. AV fabrication coming down from him, probably to get the upgraded carrier production. Those air units are in the air. I mean, where else would they be, I guess? I'm going to find the probe and just snipe him out. I like doing that, although if you watch Descara's stream here, he says, like, yeah, that was kind of a mistake. So I guess there's more than one opinion on that matter. All these interceptors flying way too close to the LAVs, though. But they don't take any damage. But this railgun still is not dead? What the heck? It does go down eventually, but this interceptor probably will follow it. Oh, not quite. He's going to make it out. So that's one railgun down. Descara's carrier not looking too dangerous, but it does have power reserve, 2 research, and just got another artifact, so it's definitely going to be enough to hold off these sand skimmers. They really shouldn't be in here. But I think what I'm trying to do is open up the area for assault ships by taking out the railguns, but I think it's just too many sand skimmers to lose for that trade. Especially Descara coming in here with an excellent carrier block. As usual, his micro is pretty much on point. And I'm not going to be able to get anything done here, so I should really just back away, and that is indeed what I'm doing. And the tech choice for me is going to be precision bombers. Bombers are cool. They don't really see too much use, but the times that they do, they usually perform pretty well. That poor assault ship is almost over the dune, but he does get taken out. One of the big reasons why bombers are effective is because, first off, anti-air that does lots of damage in bursts is good against them, but anti-air that doesn't do much damage but does it like continually, like for instance these LAVs or a base runner, is not very good against it, because base runner AI is horrible in general, but because LAVs fire their shots kind of more rapid fire, and bombers have tons of armor. And that being the principal method of anti-air for my opponent, he hasn't even gotten sport cruiser anti-air, you can see. I feel rather safe doing this, you know what I mean? And I'm actually kind of running out there to see if I get shot at by that sport cruiser, because I wanted to know if he's got the anti-air yet, and I see that he doesn't. And it's still not getting researched. Yeah, I can see the base runner anti-air doing its thing there, but like, not really. Anyway, one AAV gets taken down over there. The big advantage to bombers is that, you know, missile batteries right here, like this one, are the really like the standard anti-air choice, I guess, for Galzian. Coalition doesn't usually make them as often, but you do see them coming out on the field right now. But bombers can kill them basically in one hit unless they have a lot of upgrades. And in this case, you can see they don't have any upgrades at all. So I can kill this thing in one shot, basically, just by flying a bomber over it and dropping the bomb there. And that clears up the field for AA. So there's no more AA for my opponent, so I can come in and start doing whatever I want, basically. That's the idea, anyway. It's a little tricky to implement, but if you can, it does really well. These assault ships almost found a nice kind of sandwich angle on those things, the LAVs over there, but not quite. These assault ships are going to take out this base burner before it grabs the middle artifacts. That one is going to be mine. Question is, am I going to be able to score it or not? But Descara has grabbed this one, which is closest to him. And I think this is the big difference between the two sides in this map, is that on my side, where my third is, there's all this cover around, and then on his side, there's like dunes, which is a very different interaction. So it's, I'm not sure which one's better, honestly. It's really, it kind of just depends on the situation, but there's definitely like, there's a difference between those two sides there, so that's pretty interesting. One bomber is finished, but I don't want to show my hand too early. I don't want Descara to know that I've got this. You can see I'm just going for some more air units. Descara researching assault cruiser fabrication. Good dodge from the missile battery for me, but I still need to get out of there. I'm just going to take some losses. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, so there's the bomber getting launched now. I don't know if he plans on making assault cruisers. Doesn't seem like there's really anything for it at the moment, but... Well, that's unfortunate. The bomber targeting the wrong unit and ends up hitting a sand skimmer instead. There are air units in the field right now, and what they're doing is attacking the carrier, although one of them gets taken down by the missile batteries there. But I think that's good because it dissuades him from trying to push in with his carrier. Meanwhile, my sand skimmers got up on top of the opponent, but they're not doing too well despite having good upgrades. There's just too much here, you know, AAVs, the carrier, stuff like that, so they're not able to really find an opening. Most all of them are going to go down here. And it looks like Descara just has, you know, piece by piece gotten really good control over the field here. I've teched into railguns, you can see now, and I'm making those. Actually, Descara teching into battle cruisers now, which is a little interesting. But yeah, he hasn't made any assault cruisers. He hasn't gone for artillery tech, so that's a little odd. But yeah. How's the power look? He definitely has more power than me. Yeah, look, I'm just getting power reserve 1 now. He's already on 4. This artifact is going to be able to score down on the south end of the map right there. This missile battery here going to get hosed, although it does get the shot off, so it manages to kill a unit there. So that's not bad. If I was able to take that out without losing any units, that would have been really nice, but it does manage to get a kill on one of the interceptors. This probe over here going to see that there's nothing defending the production cruiser, so he may go in for a backstab over there. But yeah, now it looks like I'm kind of in control of this engagement here, and Descara powering up his carrier to try and get away from this. He has got railguns in the field though, so it's not going to be so easy to do damage here. And unfortunately my air units are having to launch right into the AA for my opponent. Bombers are doing pretty well. None of them have gone down just yet, which is kind of what you expect to see with bombers. Their high health means that they can do their damage and then get out without ever going down. The interceptors, meanwhile, you'll see have gone down quite a lot, though. 2 AVs get into the back line. They're starting to do economic damage, but I've taken my opponent off of his third as well. Big ol' backstab here of LAVs, and they're getting right where they need to be on top of these railguns. Would have been better if these assault ships had stayed back to try to defend them. Suddenly the army is just kind of melting away, isn't it? I've got a bunch of sand skimmers here though, so I'm going to be able to take out those LAVs, and if I want to, I can go in for the railguns now. Looks like that is going to be the idea. And the first bomber is going to go down now. Probably because support cruiser anti-air was researched. Yes, indeed it was. This bomber pulling some interesting moves, I guess. Because I think I launched him and then docked him immediately. I'm not totally sure what the idea behind that was. But yeah, I think these AAVs have taken out a production cruiser. You know what I could have done here? It would have been pretty easy. It was just like send the what's it called? You know, send the air units to my base to just kind of deal with those AAVs. That would have been really nice, but that's all right. Bunch of sand skimmers here are going to take out the support cruiser probably. Although here comes the smoke, and it's good. There's only 2 AAVs here though, so I can stick around and kill it. It's just going to take a little bit longer. But Descara's carrier has taken less damage for sure, so he's kind of won this scuffle. And if you look on the back of this, he's still attacking with these AAVs. So I've taken him off of 2 bases. He's taken me off of 2 bases. It looks fairly equal, but I feel I'd rather have the army of Descara at the moment, where there is, you know, some stuff in my opponent's face, kind of. So it's a little harder for me. Although I've got these sand skimmers here, but he does already have AAVs. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a bit more tricky, I think, for me to rebuild from this position. You see me using the base runner heal here to try to heal up the carrier. This is actually getting very close. But Descara's going to try to back away from this as well. Now it'd be good for me to take this power out of weapons and put it into healing, but that's alright. Oh, look at these 2 sand salvagers getting out with 20 health. Oh, that's messy. I always make fun of other people for this, so that's too bad. However, 2 artifacts getting scored off the back of this. I mean, Descara is really good at multitasking. He knows, like, yeah, there's a battle going on right here, but once I finish it, I want to have 2 more artifacts, right? And he'll send them out there. He'll produce base runners during a fight like that, you know what I mean? It's really impressive stuff. So he's definitely closing up that lead in artifacts that I had. Oh, that's unfortunate. This interceptor flies out right to his death right there. Oh, this missile battery didn't die? Looks like it's 16 health left. You piece of trash. That was kind of a poor bomber play from me right there. See me coming back here. I've got actually railguns on this area, so this is looking pretty good for me, but Descara gonna power up the armor and try to get out of there. Looks like I still want to chase, maybe to get that support cruiser. Oh, but it gets smoked off by those AAVs just at the right moment. Look at that. How much health does he have now? 56. Not much at all. I'm getting my third set back up again, but it's going to be tricky for me to stop this artifact extraction now, and these base runners are in position. They can even set down turrets to help each other get out there. Wow, because he got the veterans... Look at this. So the veterancy gives him 200 extra health, and because he got that, he was able to survive. So if he hadn't killed those bombers, he wouldn't have made it out. That's evil. Curse you. Yeah, just a little bit of poor bomber play can go a long way, as you can see. Both carriers healing up from their previous exchanges, although I should really take the power out of the... Oh yeah, look at that. I always say things right after I do them. Although I can take even more out and put it like 5 into healing there. But this base runner with the artifact, that would be victory for Descara if it gets out. So I'm going to try to stop it now with sand skimmers. You can see I'm producing quite a few. Descara's railgun blob looking better than mine. And the mains are beginning to get mined out here. In fact, he hasn't got anyone on this main at all. He just doesn't even care. That's quite interesting. This artifact is going to be pretty close, but don't think it's going to score here. I mean, actually, I know it doesn't because I played this game, so, you know, whatever. But, yeah, it goes down. Now, my carrier back at full health is going to be at full health pretty quick. Although, actually, the support cruiser has left the area, so it's not healing it anymore. But he's definitely just got the numbers for this railgun fight. Even if I am on the high ground, I can never take that fight. So I'm having to back away here, but I got a whole lot of sand skimmers, and they've got something to say about this. The carrier, of course, will do a lot of damage to these sand skimmers, but I can probably take out quite a few railguns while I'm here. I can't check the upgrades because A-game's in the way. Let's see. Sand skimmer damage 2 is about to get finished, just a little bit too late, as you can see. The carrier is running in here. It's definitely going to take a lot of damage from this scenario, or from this exchange, but it should kill off all these railguns. And that leaves Descara's carrier kind of in an awkward position. A turret set up from the base runner even to help these railguns out, but they are going to go down. This base runner should really just tap the artifact at the least to make sure that I can't get it, and mine should tap this one, but that's alright. What I mean by that is even if the base runner goes down, you know, just having touched the artifact means that no one else can get it, so. But I really need to be producing railguns right now. Is that what I'm doing? Just one at a time. I don't have enough CUs for it, I can see. The AAVs come in, but they're going to find that they're just a little bit too late. All those railguns have been killed already. But they are going to be just in position to take out this base runner. So my carrier should really be getting chased to this. This is probably my most likely chance of winning right here. More railguns popping out of Descara's carrier, but they're going to find themselves in a bit of an awkward position right on top of this carrier here. Or rather, the carrier's on top of them. It's going to take them out. This base runner running for his life. Base runner is running, you know, but he's not going to make it, I don't believe. I've been using base runner healing to artificially extend his life there, but it doesn't matter. There are railguns to stop these AVs from advancing any further, but unfortunately, they are going to take out that base runner. That smoke actually a little bit off. I can still see him there. I can still shoot at him. And yeah, nothing should come of these AAVs, but and in fact, this main was mined out anyway, so there's no reason for him really to push in there, I guess, but you know, that's alright. These two salvagers could retire as well. That's okay. But I feel a little unsure about winning like a railgun war at this point. So I think that's the reason why I'm making sand skimmers here. But it's kind of like a downhill spiral, if you will, because of course, you know, I don't have enough CUs to really make more railguns, which is kind of a big issue. By the way, where's the nuke here? I think when I talked to Descara later about this match, he said he was trying not to use nukes because he's trying to get used to like the balance patch where the nuke is not as good, you know what I mean? But still, it seems interesting, you know. I mean, Power Reserve 5 even hasn't been researched. And I feel like that would really be, you know, good, obviously. Because, as you can see, these carrier fights have been, you know, a big part of this game here. Sand skimmers are coming in here for a bit of a nasty backstab, but once again, you know, the mains are not really a big target right now. I believe this one's mined out, even though we can still see resources here. Well, there's 460 RUs there. That doesn't really matter. The AAVs are going to come in here to try to stop this, but there's only 4 logistics modules on the field here for Descara, and is that really the case? That's so few. So taking these out is actually very relevant because it costs CUs to replace them, of course, which is kind of the exotic resource at the moment. So he's replaced the one that got taken out, but that has cost him a bit of money. That's one really nice thing about playing Galaxian. Sometimes it's annoying to have it tied to your research because it means you can't, how do I say, you can't, you know, get CUs fast, or like, sorry, you can't get population fast, especially if you're getting upgrades for your other units. But it is really nice in the sense that it can't be taken away from you. There's no way that anyone can take that population that you've gotten from you. Based on the build speed here, I'd say this is a cruiser. I'd say this is a battle cruiser because he's researched it. And a battle cruiser I feel would be really good here because really, like having decided that I can't win this railgun war, I've only got like 4 railguns at the moment. And so, you know, there's nothing to stop a battle cruiser here except for the carrier, which is obviously not really where you want it to be fighting. But I put the range systems at maximum so I can attack these railguns from all the way in the back here. And that, as you can see, is what I'm doing. Doesn't something look funny about that, about how far away from the carrier these units are that it's shooting at? And it looks like all these railguns are actually going to go down. This is looking quite nice here. Although look at this excellent bait, just moving one of them away so all the sand skimmers leave the area. But that battlecruiser is about to pop. I can't obviously see if that's what it is on the production tab, but I'm quite sure it is. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that I played this game, I don't know. But anyway, all the railguns have gone down there, and the base runner heal is good. Full power is into the weapons now. But behold, that battlecruiser takes no prisoners. It's going to do a lot of damage here, and if I want to survive this, I really have to power up the speed right now and get out of here. Not totally sure what I'm going for here, but you know, the problem is like doing that. Actually, you know, I bet I could extend my life a little bit here. I could run off into this direction and try to take out his eco. But I mean, it's questionable at best if this would ever work, you know what I mean? Yeah, I really wish I had tried that now. That would have been cool, because when I saw the battlecruiser pop out, I was kind of like, well, yeah, that's the end there. But what if I had run, you know, what if I had run to his base and started killing his dudes? That would have been actually really fun to see. But it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. And my carrier at 3% health now, it's not going to get out. I'm powering up the speed now, but that's obviously too late. And it does go down. Alas. Yeah, they're talking about how they're going to preserve my failure in the archives, whatever. You know what? I tried, man. I tried. He's from Sweden. What am I supposed to do? Anyway, that was a pretty exciting round there. Or exciting match, I guess. But unfortunately, Descara will beat me again. Yeah, what's new? He's obviously a very good player. We actually... We play a lot kind of to do like testing for the balance patch that's coming out, or testing for like build orders and stuff like that, which is a lot of fun. He's a really cool guy, so I'm not too upset about being beaten by him, but I definitely was hoping to be able to take a win off of him, at least in the qualifier section. But yeah, we'll move on to the next round from this tournament.